Hey guys, Heidi Foy from Bullfrog Creatives. Listen, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We're kind of starting something new to roll into May and June. Last year, about this time, there was a lot of conversation about the College National Finals being canceled. And I'm super excited that we're going to talk about the College National Finals going full bore. This week and next week, I'll have some of our faculty directors from the regions. Before we kick over to our Central Rocky Mountain region director, I want to do a little bit of housekeeping. So first and foremost, there are 11 regions combined to make up the National Intercollegiate Rodeo Association. So they are the Big Sky region, Central Plains region, Central Rocky Mountain region, the Grand Canyon region, Great Plains, Northwest, Ozark, Rocky Mountain, Southern region, and the Southwest region. I think that's all of them. I've tried to get them pulled up on my computer so I didn't miss anybody. West Coast region. My goodness, I cannot forget them. So the goal over the next few weeks and this hashtag Road to the CNFR is to have the faculty director and or student director on. For those of you that are counting, there are not enough Mondays for that. So we may be adding some days in between there. But I just want to kind of get a feel and a wrap up for what everybody just went through, how the rodeo season went, and kind of start to prepare us as fans for what we're going to see at the college finals this year. So without further ado, I'm going to bring in the faculty director from the Central Rocky Mountain region, Mr. Dustin Luper. So Dustin is also the rodeo coach at Chadron State. So real quickly, I'm going to test him and see if he knows his stuff. Dustin, tell me the schools that are in the Central Rocky Mountain region.
We have 13 schools. So we obviously Chadron State, University of Wyoming, Casper College, Central Wyoming College in Riverton, Eastern Wyoming College in Torrington, Gillette College in Gillette, Sheridan College in Sheridan, Wyoming. And then the Colorado schools would be Otero Junior College, and then Colorado State University, Lamar Community College, Northeastern Junior College, and then the Air Force Academy.
Yes, super impressive.
I would hope so. That's part of my job.
I was following along.
Academy, because of COVID this last year, their governmental members, they were locked down.
Dustin, it honestly sounds like you're in Casper right now with all that wind, buddy.
Yeah, it's springtime here in Chadron, Nebraska, so it's a little breezy.
So let's talk about, give me the rundown for your season this year for Central Rocky Mountain. I know that we've talked about it on this broadcast. Some of the regions didn't have any fall rodeos and they had to squeeze 10 rodeos in the spring. So how was it for you guys?
You know, praise God, ours went off without a hitch, Heidi. To be honest with you, we started at Chadron State. I was a little nervous, obviously, because I was the one hosting that one. And we had some things that we had to jump through, but honestly, everything went off without a hitch. We really did. We had 10 regional rodeos. The only thing that was probably different was the Gillette and Sheridan College Rodeo. They combined those two into a single header, where normally they would be a long round and a short round. But other than that, we had 10 regional rodeos. So, we feel pretty blessed to have been able to do that. And then we finished up just this last weekend at Colorado State, which they had it at Island Grove in Greeley, Colorado. So that was pretty
awesome.
Cool.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think our area in particular and some of the more rural areas were very lucky that they really didn't see an impact in the rodeo schedule. So let's talk a little bit about qualifiers. So talk to us. We've got some newbies, some rookies to college rodeo that watch this broadcast, and we have some of those kind of seasoned veterans, I would say. But let's start at the beginning. Talk to me about what it takes to qualify for the college finals at a regional level.
Okay, that's a very good question. So you have to be in the top 3 in each event to qualify. or if you qualify a team, which each school that wins first or second in the region, which this year the University of Wyoming won both the men's and women's team, and then Chadron State won the women's team, and then Gillette College won the men's team second in the men's team. So they each get to take teams. So you either have to qualify individually in the top 3 in each event, or you can take a team, which in order to do that, there's 6 men's events and 4 women's events. So you get to take 6 additional men or 4 additional women on your points team if they qualify. And in order to qualify, like I said, they either have to be in the top 3 or the top 30% of kids that have earned points in that event. So for instance, in the barrel racing in our region, I think there was points to 48 places. So you would have had to been in the top 14, I think, if my math's right.
Okay.
30%.
So correct me if I'm wrong. You can qualify as an individual in the top 3, or you can be chosen from your coach, by your coach, to be on that points earning team and qualify on the team.
That's correct.
Okay.
If you're one
you're
of those
in-
2, yep. If you
Gotcha.
get qualified, or if you're in the top 30% of the points.
So if you qualify on the team, when do you as the coach have to, like, did you already have to tell them who your team is?
So you have to do that. It's different for every region. Like our deadline, I believe, is the May 10th or something like
Okay.
that. It's all based on your last regional rodeo. Yeah, you don't have a whole lot of time, but you generally have a pretty good idea who's going to go. Like I found out today who our 4th girl is going to go on our college national finals team.
Okay, perfect. So let's talk a little more specifically. Let's talk about the qualifiers from this region. So I think that everyone in Casper knows now that the Central Rocky Mountain region is our region, but I think early on in the lifespan of the college finals being in Casper, everybody thought that the Rocky Mountain region was us, but it's not. It's the Central Rocky Mountain region. So
Yeah.
who can we expect to be in our home region to qualify?
So obviously, the top 2 teams that I was telling you about. So the University of Wyoming's taking a men's and women's team. Chadron State College is taking a women's team, and Gillette College is taking a men's team. But there's a lot of individual athletes, obviously, that qualified on their own. Jay Stout from University of Wyoming won the men's. And then a young man, Quentin Taylor from Casper College, right there in his hometown from Canada, won the reserve all around. So you'll see him in 2 events. And then Faith Hoffman from the University of Wyoming, is a Colorado native, won the all around. You'll see her in 2 or 3 events. And then Quincy Segelke, who rodeos for Chadron, also a Colorado native. You'll see her in 3 events.
And I would add too, Dustin, both of those all-around races were tight.
Yeah, super tight. Yep.
I mean, I think going into the weekend, they were flipped.
Yeah, they were. Yep.
So it was a tough weekend, it sounds like, for all of those young student athletes.
Yeah, and that's like I tell my kids, some days Christmas comes early, sometimes your birthday gets taken away. You just got to take a rodeo, one rodeo at a time, one calf at a time, one bull at a time, one horse at a time. You can have individual goals and yearly goals, but you still got, especially in our region, 10 individual regional rodeos. Each rodeo has its own points, own things to factor in. So you got to take care of them one at a time. And you've seen that, sometimes kids capitalize on mistakes, sometimes they don't. So that's what's cool part about rodeo.
Yeah, for sure. I thought maybe I would be able to look online, but it doesn't look like the results are up just yet.
Yeah, no, yeah, they got it. So that's actually a good point. So our regional secretary, Tammy Vold Larson, just to make sure everything's good, we'll go through it. Quincy and I will help her go through all the points, but then she sends it to the national office. They go through it with a fine-tune comb before it ever gets put out on the website. Just easier to correct a mistake than try to recall one.
Definitely, especially at this level. I mean, I think there's a lot of people watching, and a lot of family members want to know who's made it and who's not. I did see that Casper College has a few guys coming in. The Johnson boys made it back to the
Yep.
college finals, so I know
Yeah, and
that.
I forgot how they do. They actually, they could have very well qualified a men's team. They
Mhm.
did. I forgot to mention when we went to Riverton at Central Wyoming College, clear back in end of September. They kind of had a hot spot in their dorms, and I talked with Jet Johnson, and their school administration chose for them to stay home, so they actually only got to go to 9 rodeos. So it could have very well been a men's and women's team on the Casper side. One rodeo makes quite a bit of difference. So
It does. It does. I mean, you don't really think about it, but there's a lot of points to be had in one
yeah,
weekend,
oh
and
yeah, yeah,
for that entire team to miss out,
yep,
coming into the last rodeo, the men's team was sitting third, and the women's team was sitting sixth as far
yep,
as the team standings. So
yep.
it definitely was a close rodeo for sure.
Yeah, it sure was. Yeah, and I feel bad for Jet, but if there's anybody that's got a good attitude, he understands life. He's a rancher himself, like myself, so he understands that you just got to make the most of every opportunity you get.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess, Dustin, what can we expect? We know when the performances start, but what do you look at? I mean, what's your deadlines look like? When do you guys come to town? When do you kind of start really getting prepared for the college finals now?
So I'd have to look, Heidi, at the actual date. They I believe it's like the 10th, or I don't even know honestly. The students check in the Saturday, that generally the second
Mhm.
weekend, and then faculty directors and the other administrators and the ladies from the national office, they'll show up 3-4 days ahead of time, and
Mhm.
then the Casper event center and stuff, they'll start working on that arena probably 2 weeks prior to that. So there's a lot of work that actually goes in prior to those kids even showing up.
Yeah, so the check-in will be for the kids is on the 12th. And I know Jim Dewey Brown, who is the arena director, I know they'll be here Monday around the 7th. So
Yep.
they definitely come in early and start kind of calling Casper their home and get everything set up. So we'll actually be able to do some behind the scenes stuff during setup. So everybody will get an opportunity to kind of see start what it looks like when they come in, and you all know what it looks like when they get done with the setup part. So it'll be interesting to see, for everybody to see kind of what it looks like before, and what it looks like when we're ready for that first performance.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, Dustin, is there anything else you want to talk about? I know you are Chadron State is one school that we have not been able to profile on our broadcast, so we'll have to certainly, once the college finals wrap up, we'll schedule a time for you to talk about Chadron's program. But I guess what's one thing you're looking forward to for the next season?
It just things to get back to normal a little bit for each school as well.
Mhm.
We're the Western mentality is pretty resilient, and it hasn't bothered us too much. But I do think it has taken a toll on these kids and their classes and stuff. So I'm just kind of ready for all this to be behind us and go back at it like we always have. But dang sure proud of our region and the coaches and stuff. We all get along really well and pulled together to make things happen, even when we all got budget cuts and
Mhm.
things like that. Financially, it was pretty difficult, but we made it work. And these kids should be pretty appreciative towards their coaches and their mom and dads and everything that helped get us through this. So it's a team effort, Heidi. For it was pretty tough on college rodeo last year not to be able to do it, and we had to pay out
Yeah.
kind of some of those contracts, which is the Western way as well. You know, even though we didn't get to have a college final, so I'm sure glad and feel fortunate that we'll be able to have it this year.
So I know a few kids that rodeo for you. Did they do all online classes this year with Shadron?
No, that's one thing that Shadron was. I was pretty proud of this little Western town. is that we never did. We closed during the hot
Spring.
spot of COVID, last spring, from about March until the end of semester. But we were fully on campus. But kids had to wear masks. They were pretty on people. Like I'm pretty big on workouts with my team, and even in the weight room, we had to wear masks. So it's kind of tough when you're breathing hard and to communicate with people. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I did have some kids that did decide to stay home and stay online and work at the ranch and things like that. It's just, it's not quite the same when they're not here. We like to see their smiling face.
Yeah, definitely. I would say that one thing is for sure that there were a lot of kids that had to persevere through things that were kind of unprecedented. And those student athletes that did qualify this year, they most certainly earned it because they went through a whole set of struggles and obstacles that nobody's ever had to do before.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, physically and emotionally. Yep.
Yes, sir, for sure. Well, Dustin, if you have nothing else to add, I'll go ahead and let you go back to work, and then we'll do a little wrap up here. I certainly appreciate your time. I know that there's a lot of fans on here, a lot of student athletes and coaches that are definitely looking forward to Casper and looking forward to the college finals. So we appreciate everything that you guys do to make that happen.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir.
That helps.
You betcha. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, you guys. Again, as I mentioned, I'm super appreciative for Mr. Dustin to come on board today. We're going to be doing a few more of these kind of interviews just to do just a quick wrap up for those regions that are done. I know there's a handful that have completed. I know there's some that are not quite done yet. But I'd like to do kind of a breakdown of who's going to be competing at the college finals this year. I know there's a lot of people. Well, listen, I'm really looking forward to seeing some rodeo in the event center again and seeing all the kids come back to my little community. So stay tuned for that. Also want to give a shout out to Cinch Jeans, who has so graciously helped me continue with this platform and continue to bring you guys the good news that college rodeo is. And of course, looking forward to working with them during the college finals so we can do some live interviews on scene or on site up there, and then also do the little morning show every morning after the performances. So stay tuned for that, and hopefully we will have a few more faculty directors and or student directors coming our way. Again, y'all have a great week, and I will see you next Monday.